All right, so what does it take to get $1 trillion payday? Today, we're going to break down one of the boldest and yet most controversial pay plans in corporate history, Elon Musk's deal with Tesla. And trust me, this is way more than just a story about one guy's paycheck. It's a high-stakes drama about ambition, huge risks, and the future of a company that is literally shooting for the moon. At the end of the day, it all comes down to this number, $1 trillion. That's the potential prize we're talking about here. A number so massive, it's kind of hard to even wrap your head around, right? But it's not just a blank check. To get there, there's a very specific and incredibly demanding roadmap. So let's start at the beginning, the vote. So this whole thing kicked off with a vote. The decision wasn't made in some smoky back room. Nope. It was put directly into the hands of the people who actually own a piece of the company, the shareholders. You could call it a public referendum on Musk himself and his vision for where Tesla is headed next. And on November 6th, 2025, when the results came in, wow, it wasn't even close. A whopping 75% of shareholders who voted gave this thing a big thumbs up. That kind of overwhelming support tells you that a lot of investors believe this is what it takes. They think a package this massive is the only way to keep Musk laser-focused on their goal of, well, astronomical growth. It was a huge endorsement, but it also kicked off a firestorm of debate. And just like that, with that vote, the single largest performance-based pay package in the history of, well, history, was officially a go. A truly landmark moment. But it begs a pretty big question, doesn't it?
What exactly did they approve? You gotta understand, this isn't your typical salary bump, not even close. It's what we're calling the all or nothing deal, and it's designed to be just as extreme as the goals it's trying to achieve.
Which leads us to the question you're probably asking. How on earth does a deal this huge actually work? I mean, how do you tie a potential trillion-dollar payout to actual measurable results? Okay, let's break it down. First things first, and this is the key to the whole thing, Elon Musk takes zero salary from Tesla. Zilch, not $1 in a regular paycheck. His entire compensation is tied 100% to how well the company performs. It's the ultimate high-risk, high-reward bet. So the deal's structured in 12 parts, or tranches, of stock options. The easiest way to think about it is like this. There are 12 locked treasure chests. To unlock each one, Musk has to hit these absolutely breathtaking milestones. We're talking goals like growing Tesla into an 8.5 times trillion-dollar company, or selling 1 million of those Optimus humanoid robots. These aren't just small steps. They are giant, giant leaps. Now, the technical term that makes this possible is share vesting. It's pretty simple, really. It just means he doesn't get the stock options right away. He only earns them. They only become his property after he actually hits the specific goals for each one of those treasure chests. And here's the catch. This is the all-or-nothing part. If Tesla misses a milestone for one of those tranches, the shares for that part of the deal don't vest. He gets nothing. Zero. It's a massive, massive gamble on his ability to deliver growth that nobody has ever seen before. So, as you can imagine, a deal of this size has lit a huge fire of debate. Is this a brilliant way to incentivize innovation on a scale we've never seen? Or is it, at the end of the day, just an exercise in pure corporate greed? The arguments pretty much fall into two camps. On one side, you've got supporters saying, hey, this is pay for performance in its purest form. If the shareholders win big, Musk wins big. Everyone's interests are perfectly aligned. But then you have the critics, and they argue that the sheer size of this award is just excessive, and that it could end up watering down the value of everyone else's shares. And look, this isn't just some hypothetical worry. We're talking about major investors like Norges Bank. That's the fund that manages all of Norway's national wealth. They voted no. And the reason was very public and very clear. They found the total size of the award to be, and I'm quoting them here, excessive. To put this all into perspective, let's look at some other numbers. The average CEO of a big S&P 500 company makes around $16 million. A really high earner like the CEO of Deere & Company brings in about $29 million. Musk's potential pay from this deal, it's not just in a different league, it's playing a completely different sport on a different planet. So the vote passed, the debate is absolutely raging, but how did the market and the public actually react right after it happened? Well, the first signal we got was from the stock market. Almost immediately after the approval, Tesla's stock jumped 5%. Just like that. Billions of dollars were added to its value in moments. Clearly, investors saw the news as a huge vote of confidence in where Musk is taking the company. And analysts are already connecting the dots. Some are predicting the stock could soar to $500 a share by 2026, but that all depends on hitting those crazy ambitious goals, like successfully rolling out a whole robotaxi network. Public fascination was just as wild. Get this, online searches for the phrase Musk trillionaire spiked by 300%. The vote instantly took the idea of the world's first trillionaire from some far-off fantasy to a very real headline. So, here's the quick math on that. For Musk to actually become a trillionaire, Tesla's stock would need to hit about $2,900 per share. At that point, the value of all the shares he already has, combined with the new shares from this deal, would finally push his net worth over that incredible trillion-dollar line. Okay, so let's look beyond the eye-watering numbers for a second. What's the real goal here? What kind of future is this absolutely wild pay package supposed to build for Tesla? Well, this deal is basically the rocket fuel for Tesla's next frontier. It's all designed to push the company to dominate in AI, to finally launch a full-scale robotaxi network, and to start mass-producing those Optimus robots. This is the future that shareholders were betting on. And here's something that is so crucial to remember. Individual, everyday investors are a massive force at Tesla. They hold about 40% of the company's stock. Their collective voice was a huge reason this vote passed, and you can be sure that it's going to be a deciding factor in whatever comes next for the company. Which leaves us right back where we started, with the ultimate question. Is this all-or-nothing model the new blueprint for rewarding true innovation, or is it a gamble so big that it sets a dangerous precedent for the whole corporate world? Honestly, only time is going to tell if this was a stroke of genius or a risk that was just too big to take.